Hi there, and welcome! Today, we are going to get you totally prepped with all the essential English you need for a super smooth, really confident hotel stay. We're going to walk through the whole thing, from the moment you check in to when you check out. By the end, you'll be all set for your next big adventure. All right, let me ask you something. Have you ever, stood in line at a hotel just dreaming of hearing those two magic words, free upgrade? It sounds like something out of a movie, right? But believe me, it can actually happen. And today, we're going to follow a story where it does. And along the way, we'll pick up some really crucial hotel English.
All right, first up, arriving at the hotel. Let's talk about that all-important first conversation.
Checking in is actually way simpler than it seems. It really just boils down to 3 easy steps. First, a nice, polite greeting. Second, just let them know you have a reservation. And third, you give them your details. That's it. Okay, so how do you put all that together in one sentence? Well, here is the perfect all-in-one phrase you can just memorize and use. Just walk up to the counter, smile, and say, "I'd like to check in, please. I have a reservation under the name Anthony Roberts." Now, the really key part of that sentence is the phrase under the name. Why? Because that's the magic phrase that helps the hotel staff find your booking instantly in their system. It's super simple, but absolutely essential for any traveler. Okay, on to part 2, a common mix-up. So let's imagine for a second what happens when things don't go exactly to plan. So back to our story. The receptionist is looking at the computer and says, "You're right, Mr. Roberts. There seems to be a mix-up." Now, the key word I want you to hear is mix-up. And when you hear it, the first thing to do is, don't worry. A mix-up just means there's been some kind of confusion, a simple misunderstanding. It's almost always a small problem, something the staff can fix for you pretty quickly. So the receptionist explains what's going on. She says, "Unfortunately, we're overbooked at the moment." Now, I know what you're thinking, that sounds bad. And yeah, it can be concerning, but stick with me, because sometimes this can actually lead to something pretty great. So what exactly does overbooked even mean? Well, it's basically when a hotel or an airline sells more rooms or seats than they actually have. They're kind of betting that a few people will cancel. And while, yeah, it sounds like a problem, let's see how this can flip around and actually work out in your favor. And that brings us to part 3, your complimentary upgrade. This is where the problem turns into a perk. This is it. This is the sentence every single traveler hopes to hear. Not to worry, we're pleased to offer you a complimentary upgrade. I mean, come on, 2 of the best words in the English language right there. Complimentary and upgrade. So what is a complimentary upgrade? It means you're getting moved to a bigger, better, more expensive room for absolutely no extra cost. That word complimentary, it's just a fancy, polite way of saying free. It's how the hotel says, "Oops, sorry for the mix-up, here's something nice." Just look at this. This is the power of an upgrade right here. You walked in expecting a standard room, but because of that little overbooked situation, you are now staying in the presidential suite. I mean, what a huge difference, right? A very, very happy surprise. Okay, so you've got your amazing room. Let's move on to part 4, exploring your stay. We'll cover some other really useful phrases for your room and for other hotel services you might need. So, once you're in that amazing new room, it's super helpful to know the names for a few key things. Stuff like the Wi-Fi, the air conditioner, the safe. Just knowing these words makes it so much easier to ask for help if you need it. But how do you actually ask for things politely? It's really easy. If you notice, a lot of these questions start with phrases like, "Could I have?" or "Can you?" These are just perfect polite ways to make requests, whether you need extra towels or you're asking for the Wi-Fi password. And what if something isn't working right? Again, no need to stress. You can report a problem really clearly and calmly. A great way to start is, "Excuse me, I have a problem with my room." And then just say what's wrong, nice and simple, like, "The lamp is not working." Remember, the staff is there to help you out. All right, let's do a super quick review of the most important phrases we've learned. Just getting these down will give you so much more confidence to handle all the common hotel situations, from checking in to asking for help. Definitely keep these in your back pocket for your next trip. And just like that, we're at the end. You are now officially equipped with all the key language you need for an awesome hotel experience. So I guess the only question left to ask is, where will your English take you next?